Hello! Today I'm going to show how you can do your own painting art onto clothes. I like to use leather paint on leather and non-leather items. These boots today are non-leather boots, so they're man-made material. And leather paint works great. For inspiration, you might want to use photos or other artwork to give you ideas to work with. Here I have a picture that I took of some grapes, and I really love the texture and color of grapes and grapevines. This is a watercolor painting that I did earlier that I'm using as inspiration for my boot design. Choose a surface for your artwork. Choose an object with flat surfaces such as boots, a coat, a handbag, or even a suitcase. For fabric, choose something semi-stiff and not stretchy. Choose leather, faux leather, or a plastic. These are the boots, they're very old boots that I had that I am going to be working on for my art creation today. You can notice that there's paint that's peeling, there's some strings on it, and this all needs to be taken care of. I'm going to be using Angelus leather paint. It's available at art stores and Amazon. You can also experiment with other paints like acrylics, latexes, and oils. And with all of these, you can mix them together and make a nice palette for your artwork. So this is the brand that I am using today for this project. It's a good idea to base coat your project in white or a light color paint. The paint will also help strengthen the weak areas. And you may need several layers. As you can see, I needed more than one layer to coat these boots. Some areas I even used 3 coats of paint. This area that I'm going to be showing you was peeling, and the paint helps hold it together. Dimensional or puffy paint can also be used to help strengthen weak areas. So this area was kind of peeling. I painted it with white paint first so I could see how it was doing. And then after the white dried, I went over it again with black paint because that area I want eventually to be black. And this did help hold it together. Probably not forever, but it definitely was better than just ignoring. So to remove loose paint, use a flat object such as scissors, tweezers, or a metal ruler and cut and remove the loose paint that you see. So some areas it was definitely chips of loose paint. You can see that there's some strings. Some of them I could just pull off, and some of them I needed to cut with scissors. Although these straps weren't leather, they kind of had that leatherly feeling, and they desperately needed the paint to get peeled off. Some areas the stitching was even half just kind of sticking out there, and I used scissors to cut the loosest parts off. And as I said, when I painted it, the paint kind of helped hold it back together again because, yeah, I didn't want to have to restitch these areas. So after I took the strings and the loose paint off, I kind of filled all the little areas with paint. Preparing the surface for your artistic creation is not overly fun at times, and it does take a while, but it's very important to get the surface ready for your art. This is one area after I peeled off the worst of the areas. When needed, use painter's tape to separate the areas you're painting. So I wanted to just paint those straps. The background's going to be black. So I masked off the background as I was painting the straps. And I painted the straps with a couple of layers of white, and then I went over the white with a green coat of paint. Sketch or trace your pattern with a pencil onto your object. So there's many different ways you can transfer your design, but it's nice to have something to go by instead of just freehanding it. So this was my sketch of one of the boots, and up there in the corner you can see where I started adding some color. Now is a fun part. Mix your paints and fill in your pattern. You can, of course, use solid colors, or you can mix your colors into kind of shades and highlights and shadows. Do whatever you want to do. Fill in your design. The nice thing with this leather paint is that you can do an area and then after it dries, kind of go over it again and make it lighter or darker, whatever you need to. I like to outline my art to make the design pop. And here I'm using black permanent fabric marker by Marvy. I've also used Sharpie markers. You just want to make sure that your markers are permanent markers. If you use non-permanent materials, you're going to want to go over your project with some kind of clear spray to seal it. If everything you're using is permanent by design, then you don't have to coat your project when you're done. So yeah, basically I'm going over every area with my marker. And this is the fabric marker that I told you about by Marvy that I was using on this project. And this boot has already been outlined, so that boot is pretty much complete. So here are some pictures of my finished boots. And they're pretty exciting. And they're pretty bright colored. And as you can see, I did the back in a different color. Well, thanks for watching. Now go out and create some more artistic clothes. And please subscribe. And more than that, have fun.